Tryna make it to the top, life ain't gon' stop. Tryna make it to the top, life ain't gon' stop. So it makes it pop, so it makes it hot. Tryna make it to the top, tryna make it to the top. On the top is where I wish I was living. On the top like I'm back in the kitchen. On the top, make it total.
So,
okay,
hold on, messed up again. Hold on. It does work though. Give me a second. I'll turn it off and turn it back on again. Give me a second. Say something?
Hello.
Perfect. All right. Welcome to Barber Buzz Talk. I'm Cal the Barber, aka King Cal, and I'm over here with Marissa Thornburg, with the whitest name ever in life, but it's cool because it helps you get jobs. But anyway, so as always on Barber Buzz Talk, nobody ever knows the subject beforehand. So these are all raw interactions, no preparation. This is all improv, so this is the real truth. The only rules I have is no capping, no lying, no cap. That's the only rule.
Yeah.
Right. I don't gotta tell you about over talking because you don't do that. You're good. You're easy to talk to. You're good. You're a good guest. So here's the subject. The question I have, and that a lot of people have been having, is now, do you know the definition of a modern woman? I'm sure. You know the definition of a modern man? A lot of people don't. Do you know the definition of a modern man? Okay, good. Now, I like to think there's like 4 different types of men, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We got the simp, the pimp, the modern man, and the traditional man. That's all there is, okay? Now, women, there's less categories. Well, they got the hoes, of course, but we ain't want to talk about them. I don't judge them. We got the modern woman, and then we got the traditional woman, okay? And I guess we could add, if you want to add one that goes with simp, I guess we could call them a pick-me, which I don't call them pick-me's. I call them women who actually want a man. So I don't like that word, but whatever. I know a lot of people don't like the word simp, but I use it quite freely. Now, the question I'm asking is this. Most women nowadays are modern women. They're feminist, sorts. And my question is, them being modern women, do modern women want modern men, or do modern women actually want traditional men? I'm curious. I mean, I'm not just speaking about you in general. Is your experience as a woman, dealing with women, having women as friends, do you think that they want a modern man, or do you think they want an actual traditional man?
I would say they probably would want, I think they would probably say that they would want a modern man, but that modern man might be too much. So then they really should go with a traditional man.
Okay.
Because I feel like a modern man might be, I don't know. I feel like you need to have that balance. So
I feel like with
modern men and modern women, I don't know if they would really go together.
It's funny because I brought this subject up because I'm starting to realize that as much as these women want their independence, they want to be the boss, they want to be all these things, they want to be more masculine, taking on masculine traits, they still want a man to play the roles that he's supposed to play. Like you ask 9 out of 10 women if they're okay with their man making less money than them, most are going to say no. If you ask a woman if she's willing to pay for 50% of the household responsibilities after marriage, most of them will say no. Not all, because there's a few that don't have a problem carrying a man, take care of a man. Those are women that don't mind modern men. Most modern men don't lock themselves into a gender role, just like modern women don't. They don't lock themselves into a role of submission, a role of, but at the same time, if they don't want to be submissive, they still want to be taken care of. They still want to be protected. They still want to be, treated treated femininely. They don't want to be treated like a man. So, I mean, I feel like sometimes it's like, I don't want to call it a double standard. I want to call it not understanding what you're asking for. Like, prime example, if you say you're a feminist, right? If you're a feminist and all things being equal, right? Why should I hold the door for you? Why should I get up from my seat on the train to let you sit down? Because you're equal, right? So, if anything, we got the equal opportunity to sit or be held doors for and paid for. That means that also, if you feel like that, then when we go on dates, then half the time you should pay, half the time I should pay. But see, that's not what women want, though. So I feel like men aren't getting the traditional woman they want, but women are asking for a traditional man, so to speak, with a little hint of modern in them. Because I think part of the modern man, a lot of them are more conscious of things socially happening, socially and stuff, and a lot of them are more, in tune with the way they look more now, things of that nature. But I don't know. I think that it's kind of a strange double standard that a woman can say that she can, like, you ask them, most of these women, you ask them about submission, they'll go, submission, oh my God, submit. It's like a curse, you just called her a B word or something, right? But when you ask a woman, will she date a man who's broke or who doesn't have enough, makes X amount of money, they're most of them going to say, no, I know my worth. But what about a man knowing his worth too and saying, I want a woman that's going to be agreeable? Because I believe, when I talk about submission, right, I don't think submission means you just do what I say like a slave and you cower at me and you're afraid of me. No, that's not what submission is. Submission is being agreeable and being supportive of your man and understanding that he's the head, that he's the lead, that no matter what, and I think you understand it because you were married once or twice, right? Twice. That's enough. Twice, which is good. And it's funny because most men, and hey, if you disagree with me, man, put it in the comments. Most men would rather marry you after having been married to even one or two other guys than a woman that been your same age that been out in these streets the whole time. You know why?
What, because of the body count?
That's part of it. That's part of it. Because these women be in these streets, man, and body counts, cheeks being clapped. And not only that, but also he's like, okay, this is a woman that understands how to get along with a man. Even if it ended, for whatever reason it ended, at some point you know how to agree with and get along with a man.
Right.
And a lot of women don't know how to get along with men nowadays. You can see it in their comments on Facebook. You're putting stuff, oh, men are this, men are that. But I'm like, no, not really. It's the men you're choosing. Because you're choosing pre-selected men. Me and you talked about this before. You're not really necessarily that woman. You're not that chick that's going to pick necessarily the pre-selected man. You may be attracted to him. I say you're not attracted to him. But you're smart enough to understand that those pre-selected men, one, have a lot of other women that are after him. Number two, you understand that snagging him is a higher chance for you to deal with an average guy than a guy that's one of those pre-selected 20% men. Why do you think women don't understand that? Why don't women understand that?
I think because a lot of times women, we hype each other up. So therefore we have a habit of trying to make ourselves feel like we're more than what we really are. So everybody feels like they have more than what they really do.
Hallelujah. Preach, sister.
They're kind of like, I'm no shade, but they're kind of like having like a new car. It's an asset. You know what I mean? Like, it's an asset. When you get to a certain age, if you say you're married, you're considered valuable. It doesn't even matter what type of man you're married to. The fact that you're married, you look valuable.
That's true.
So, typically, you want to be able to say, oh, yeah, my husband pays for everything and I just have to do A, B, C, and D. But then, that also comes with a cost. Some people just ain't willing to pay the cost. I mean, it's just like with anything, you know what I mean? Like, people want to make a lot of money, but they don't want to do the hard work behind it. It's the same thing.
Do you think that women are late? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
do you think women are lazy daters? I'm gonna tell you what I think in a minute. I want you to answer that. In general, not you. In general, are women lazy daters?
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of stereotypes if we do certain things, so it makes it difficult. Like, you don't really know the right thing to do. Because, like, if you call somebody, like, typically, you don't want to look like you're, being too much if you call a person too often or you text them more than they text you. So there's, like, so many, like, rules and weird stuff with it. So you do kind of feel like, well, maybe I should fall back because I don't want to look like I'm clingy or whatever. And then it's like the same thing with a man. He feels the same way, too. He doesn't want to be too much either. But at the same time, it's like y'all are the ones that make the choice, though. Y'all make the choice on whether you're going to be with the person or not. So in a way, we want to kind of fit that mold of what you would want. So we don't want to be like texting.
I like that aspect. I like that aspect. I didn't think of it that way. when I say women are lazy days, I'm gonna tell you what I think. A man has to go out and build his value. He has to go out and get a good job, businesses,
Right.
acquire property, have a good car. He has to do all these things to be attracted to a woman, correct? And he has to keep his body right, all these things, right?
Mhm.
Women don't feel like they got to do anything. They feel like they got to know how to cook. Most of them don't have a cookbook. They don't. Half of them don't go in the gym. They don't eat right. They think that you take me however I am just because I got a coochie,
Mhm.
and that's crazy to me. And these women are complaining about having men on Facebook and social media. They complain, oh, no good man, no good man. But what are you doing to be a better woman? Because S&V, we talk about that S&V, sexual market value. Your S&V can be raised by one thing and two things. One, your attitude. If you have a better attitude, you will attract more men. Because when you're in your feminine, it allows him to draw into his masculine. Number two,
Right.
get in the gym and eat right. If you get in the gym and eat better and you lose some pounds and you looking good, your S&P raises at least 2 points. So if you're like a 5 in the face, now you're a 7 because you're fit. You look good. Like, you know, like
Right.
you look good. You got your bathing suit on. I don't know many girls that'll get on the live with me on my show knowing a bunch of people going to see in their bathing suit, but you look good. Show them what you look like. Go ahead. Show them. Show them. No, I'm serious
I'm gonna knock
because
the phone down.
but no, it's crazy because it's not hard to thank you, show it, yes, thank you. There's nothing wrong with eating some celery and a salad from time to time. There's nothing wrong with getting in the gym for 30 minutes to 40 minutes a day, because that's what's going to attract the man you're looking for. Not men in general, the man y'all are looking for. Because y'all looking for the 3 6s, I like to call them the 3 6s. 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, 6-pack abs. That's what they're looking for, the 3 6s. But they're not being what, like you said, women don't know what men want, right? And it's true. A lot of them don't know. We want femininity. We want agreeableness. We want submission. We want her to be friendly and fit. We don't, and that's most men. Yeah, great. Granted, there are a few guys I know that like bigger women. That's not the majority though. And most of them aren't high value men. Those are just average run-of-the-mill guys that mostly women don't want to settle down with or even have kids with. But they wind up having kids to them anyway. But that's another discussion. But I think that women are choosing the wrong guys to have kids to, but they're not. But the men they want to pre-select, the ones they really want, they're not qualifying for. It's like trying to go to like, it's like you saying I want to go into Harvard, but you got a 2.0. You can't get into Harvard. Like you don't qualify. So I'm not saying I don't want to say it lower your standards. I say adjust your standards as women.
Right.
Adjust your standards. You know, if you got this strike against you, okay, that takes your S&V down. If you got that strike against you, your S&V down. So they the guy on that level. I gave that advice to one of my friends, and now I gave that advice to one of my friends, and she has a guy now. And they're happy. The guy's a little chubby, a little short, but guess what? She has a man. And that's the point. Getting women with men, especially in our community, black women with black men, you know what I mean, get them together happily. Match your SMVs. But hey, look, I got a client out here. I appreciate you being on the show. It was great. I appreciate you. We're going to do this again. Love you. I'll see you next time. Okay?